Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. Hokey smokes. It is wet, rainy outside, Pacific Northwest weather. Thumbs up. It's not cold anymore. We went through that freezing period during which that's really been the only time it's been cold. So, yay for winter. Still, at least I slept some, though I was up early once again, just horrible back pain and much like that. So, tried to sleep till 5:30. Tried to sleep until 6:30, was up before 5:30, so yay. Still, I slept and that's good. Hopefully you slept. And of course, following the videos, if you toss me a like, it'd be awesome. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be double plus good. If you could leave me a comment, that would be actually double plus good. Leaving me a... Before I just get bogged down in details, I would also like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These are literally beautiful and literally awesome people who are in fact literally beautiful and literally awesome. They help to keep me alive, metabolizing, and that's a very good thing, especially when I make mistakes, which I'll talk about soon. If you would like to help to keep me alive, I have links in the video description for the Patreon, as well as a PayPal for possible donations, an Amazon wishlist link with things like pet food on them, and a post office box wherein, if anybody sends me anything at all, we will open it up on camera and marvel at the generosity. And I mean that. Postcards, keychains, that's all I ask for. So thumbs up and front-loading the videos over. Yay! Oh boy, yesterday... Now, make no mistake, this is my fault. I'm upset at the world. I'm upset at myself. I'm not upset at the person who sent me the card. I'm not upset of anything like that. But I attempted to use the $50 Visa card at Walmart last night. I've never really had one of these before. People have always sent me store-specific cards. Or they were cards that said, call this up and set up a PIN. When I called the number on this card, it said, your card is activated. Now, I had been unmedicated on my antidepressant and my ADHD meds for a week by that point. So if it told me anything else that I needed to know, it went in one ear, out the other, and made no impression, because all I remember it saying is, your card is activated. So when I went to Walmart, in the middle of the day, because I went and got some printing done at the library yesterday, using up the last of this month's money. I went to get some printing and then walked up to Walmart to get stuff done. So it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have social anxieties. I am socially withdrawn. I don't like being around people. I get sensory overload when it's really bright, and inside of stores, it is really bright. So I am at a disadvantage in the first place. It's busy, it's loud, it's bright, I'm surrounded by people. I'm trying to pay for my purchase. I use the gift card. And it asked me immediately for a PIN. Now people have said, well, did you run it as credit or debit? I didn't run it as anything. It just says scan, slide, or whatever your card. Again, unmedicated, so all I remember is it just says, slide, insert, or tap your card. So I ran that Visa thing through, and it said, what's your PIN? At which point, I'm at a big disadvantage. My anxieties are up because I'm surrounded by people, and it's bright, and it's the middle of the day, and it's busy. And I don't have a phone, so I can try and call, but I wouldn't want to stop in the middle of everybody wanting to use machines and me stopping right in the middle to make a phone call. So I luckily had some money in my checking account, and I used that to make the purchase, which is bad because that money was there in case any rolling charges like bills that I have come through. Now the money's not there. So right off the bat, trying to use the $50 present cost me $50. And since the money's not there, if the charges go through, they're going to accrue a $30 charge on top of that. So it'll be at least minus $60 if those charges go through before my disability comes in. So my attempt to use this $50 present, $50 of free money, could potentially cost me $120, in which case my buying anything is over, because I'm not even going to have enough money to buy food to feed me for a full month for probably the next 6 months. So I'm going to be using it largely to survive. So if those things go negative, I am hosed like a Christmas monkey bad. Again, it's because I had never come across this type of card before. It is my fault. It is the world putting me into a situation where all these things happen at the same time so that this occurred. So yay. But I don't want to fixate on that because it's awful. Before this happened, I did make a purchase on Amazon. I got the cheapest one of these, both in price and because the price is cheaper in construction. But I've talked about how battle mats and how I wanted a battle mat, and so I actually got one of these cheap things. It's a role-playing game board, squares and hexes. I had one of these before, when like 30 years ago, and it was vinyl, and they haven't changed. They are still made of vinyl, and they have, printed stuff on them, and they're done in a way that you just put dry erase marker on them. So on this side, of course, you just mark out your dungeon squares, and you put your miniatures on them. And on the other side, in this particular case, again, it's cards, so it has hexes for if you do like wargaming or overland hex crawl type adventures. So yay. It's pretty cool, and I'm glad I got it. And so I'm hoping I'm not going to wish I had spent money on food instead of buying this. Because if you're on food stamps, it's not really called food stamps anymore, but if you're on food stamps, for a while now, the federal government has been paying $250 a month that you can eat because of the whole covfefe bug. It's been hard to feed myself fully even on that. If this is gone and they're pretty much saying it's over, then I'm going to be only getting about $150 a month to feed myself. So I'm going to be losing another $100 worth of money. Already, my entire disability goes to pay my rent. The only reason I have any money at all to survive on, even that very small amount, is because there's about $100 to bring me up to the level my wife was at before she died. And now that's going to go to feed me, instead of like buying socks or denture cream or razors or lotion or food. So, food to buy food, so yay. But it's fun being alive in a hyper-capitalistic society. Yay! What else do I have? Because there are some things that I do want to talk about that aren't bad and terrible. One of them is I talked about how my friend yesterday, 30 years back, I haven't talked to him in person since my wife died, and that was like 8 years ago. So, but one of the things he did when he played computer games at the time is he would talk to the screen. And he didn't talk about the things that were happening. He talked to the characters in the game. If he was playing a role-playing game and the monsters came up, he would talk to the character. And he would talk to the things in the world as he was like mocking them and such. This is one of the big reasons that I do Let's Plays the way I do. And it doesn't matter. I'm struggling to get even 100 views on any Let's Play I do. So it doesn't matter the way that I do them versus the way anyone else does them. I'm just explaining why I do them the way that I do for those few people that watch. But it's because of him that I do these things the way I do. I don't talk at the game or about the game. I talk to the game. I'm talking to the characters in the game. That's why I'm always going, "Oh, kitty," or shout out to the characters. Because I talk to them, not about them. And everything, it's about talking to them, because that's what my friend did. I used to sit back and drink and watch him play games, kind of like Let's Plays before there was an internet and YouTube, just watching him play. Because he talked to the screen. It was entertaining to watch the game and to listen to him. So that's why I do my Let's Plays the way I do my Let's Plays. Yay, I just thought I'd explain that. And of course, about the whole Razor's Edge thing, it's a matter of focus. Again, I write about the very, very broken urban cryptids in my cryptid setting because they're the ones that are most interesting to me. They're not well-balanced individuals that have no issues in life. There are cryptids that are like that. Rural cryptids are very, very happy, friendly, even-keeled, not a lot of madness going on. They're having to change to a changing rural world, but it's nothing like the madness of the urban cryptids. The feral cryptids are dying out because there's not much feral land left on our world, and so there's not much place for them anymore. Urban cryptids are just wild and crazy, especially a very small portion of them. The rest of them are a little bit more nuts than normal. These ones that I fixate on are absolutely insane and badly broken because they're the most interesting to me. Now, if you're writing a novel or you're making a movie about firefighters, you're going to be showing a lot of firefighters and a lot of fires. That doesn't mean that the whole world is on fire and everybody's constantly rushing out to fight fires. It's just that's what you're focusing on. If you're writing about cops or such, you're going to be focusing on criminals and crime, but not everyone is a criminal. The world is not just covered in crime. I write and talk about cryptids that devour people. And because of that, I write a lot or talk about a lot of people being eaten and the way that they are being eaten. Does that mean that the stories and the world is nothing but human beings being funneled down and through cryptids' digestive tracts? No. No more than the world is on fire with the firefighters, or the world is awash in crime if you're talking about cops. It's just, I'm fixating on the bad people that are badly broken that do bad things. So that's why I talk a lot about it, and it may seem like there's a whole bunch of it. It is really warm in here today. Hokey smokes. Even 2 shirts. I'm going to have to take this one off as soon as I'm done. I'm burning up. So let's see what else I have. Oh, yes. Somebody, I can't remember exactly who, I'm very sorry, I forgot to write the name down, asks if on the Razor's Edge universe do cryptids gain the memories of the folks that they eat. The thing is, it's really, really, really an outside setting that has the cryptid stuff. I mean, there's the inside, there's the Razor's Edge, and then there's the outside where we are. There are one-way doors from the inside that are pouring out cryptid energy into our world. There are no doors like that on the Razor's Edge or the inside. It just happens here. And in those cycles, when the cryptids go out and start colonizing galaxies, when they do colonize over 1,000 galaxies, there are no other worlds that have this energy pouring out. Ours is the only one within this section. There are more and different types, just not where we are. Not even close at all. But even if you colonize 1,000 galaxies, there are so many galaxies out there. Space is so big, that is less than a tenth of 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 1% of everything that's out there. So yeah, there's not really a lot of cryptid energy, but just as if you have a drainage pipe that's pouring water into a pool here, water from here does travel back upward through the pipe because of just the way water and energy and capillary actions and such like that work. There is a small backwash of this cryptid energy through the doors and gates into the Razor's Edge. There are some characters that I have, like there's one who's I've mentioned, his name is Daff, which is short for David, which in where he was born, his name was spelled D-A-P-H-I-I-D, but it's David, so he goes by Daff. But he was born in Ash Bluff Pines, or Ash Pines Bluff, I can't remember which now, on the Razor's Edge. at 12 years old, he transitioned to being a cryptid. He immediately felt just starved, claustrophobic. The world was just tight and awful. Within a year, because he was mature enough, 13, 14 years old, he moved out of home and to the outside, where we are, where he immediately could breathe. Oh my God, he could breathe. So while there are a few cryptids on the razor's edge, it's very, very few, and they usually come out here as soon as they find out they can breathe out here. So there aren't a lot there, but it's a scary enough place as it is. Now, as for the whole gaining memories thing, there may be cryptids that do that. Right now, I don't know. But then, even a bit ago, I never would have thought that there were changeling-type cryptids. But son of a gun, there are. My subconscious is always working on stuff. So, right now, I would say, at least in the cryptids that I write about, there is no memory absorption. One of the things that we have within the setting is that each human being, each thing with intelligence, even cows and dogs and moles and stuff like that have this as well, just in very, very smaller degrees. The more intelligence possibility an organism has, the greater the amount of quantum knotting that happens around the brain. These quantum knottings form a pattern, and these patterns emit an energy. This energy suffuses your body, but it's also this patterning and this energy that helps distinguish who we are and what we do. When we die, that pattern goes away, and the energy quickly, within 6 hours, drains out of the human body. That is a huge portion of what makes us us. There are beings out there that do feed on and can eat that, so that your patterning and your energy is gone. You're still alive. You may still function as a human being, but you actually are just an automaton. You're not functioning like a real person. You are just a flesh robot. So it's very frightening, that sort of thing. But at least for the ones that I write about, there is no absorption of memories. Again, no guarantee that won't happen. No guarantee that can't happen. Just my mind hasn't been dealing with that at this point. So let's see what else I have on here. It has nothing to do with anything else, but I was due to have the motherboard that was gifted to me by one of the commenters, EW. It's supposed to show up on the 29th, and it didn't show up, but then I found out after I emailed them it had been delayed for a day, so I got to keep my eyes open for it showing up today. And then I have to talk to either my nephew to get it so that he can get it done for me, or try to do it with my old and shaky fingers. Either which way is fine. I mean, I used to build all my computers back in the beginning. In the year 2000, that stopped because I crashed and burned in my alcoholism, and when I came back, things just weren't good in my head. So I haven't built a computer for a while, but I used to, and I still take my computer apart so that I can blow all the dust out of it and such. So thumbs up for that. And of course, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, that was very poorly done. American Sign Language. You've already seen how my brain works, so thumbs up on that. Let me call out my Chrome, which I hate as a browser. Jesse Koskinen, good to see you in the comments, and hopefully you enjoyed this weekend. I'm unsure whether I want to record Minecraft, which I enjoy, and others seem to enjoy as well, or to do an RPG. So we shall see. But again, good to see you. Confused Owl 29, thumbs up, thank you, good to see you. We have Flora Mew. I am glad that you had a good conference that was fun, and I sincerely hope that whatever your project is, it goes well. So thumbs up and hope to see you again. There is Chris, thumbs up and thank you. Shinra, that is a very good idea. I need to read up on how to get kitty cats, but I don't want them to get like dead. That would be sad. And then there is Adrian XJG, thumbs up and thank you. Cake, greatly appreciated. Good to see you as well. There is 77 Arcturus, greatly appreciated and thumbs up. Tommy Copeland, greatly appreciated. Good to see you as well. And 9 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Thumbs up, thank you. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only a text and if only for a short time. But hey, that's perfect. Thank you. Excuse me. So, son of a gun, I'm going to do my best just to do what I can through the day. I'm not going to beat myself up if I can't do things that I would like to. I am not going to beat myself up for any reasons. Hopefully you won't beat yourself up either, because if you do, it's not going to help. It just hurts. And of course, with everything happening in the world, if people are getting sick in your area, please just take appropriate precautions, like distancing, maybe a mask. Hey, can't hurt. And if people are getting hurt where you are, like say there's car crashes and such, don't go dancing naked on a freeway, especially a busy one. And of course, if you are out walkies and you do hear the mournful howl of a bus horn, that bus with your name on it, yeah, you're gonna get caught between a hard object and a fast-moving bus. You're gonna die. Your corpse is gonna get smeared and splattered all over the landscape. It's gonna be disgusting. So hey, prepare for impact. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing.